this video is going to be a little bit different than my usual videos. I had a video planned to post on Instagram today, but I had such a beautiful and really heartwarming interaction I had with somebody in the city. So I'm from New York, and I commute to the city every day from my town to go to the school that I go to. And I was on my way to the train station, and I saw this guy in a wheelchair. And as far as I could see it, like, he had like one eye messed up. Like, I think he was maybe blind in the eye, and he had no leg at all. And, I saw him like in my last 2 seconds before I walked past him, and I saw him like, asking people that were walking past him, like, oh, like, I need help. And like, it was because like the street that I was walking up was a little bit on like a slant, like it was a little bit uphill. And, he couldn't go up there on his own. And I remember I seen that guy before about a month ago when like the whole World Cup stuff was going on. And some tourist, some guy, definitely not from here because he was wearing one of the jerseys and whatnot. And like he had an accent because he was interacting with the guy. I was literally walking right next to these two, and he was interacting with the guy, and he had an accent. And you know, and I remember like he was like asking for somebody to help him. And before I got there, somebody else, God blessingly, got there before I could and helped him up the hill and got him to where he needed to go. And you know, I noticed that like it was the same guy again. And I was like, oh my God, like this is the same guy. And nobody was helping him. And like as I just barely like walked past him, I like turned around and like, he asked me for help. And I was like, yeah, of course, like I'll help you. And like, I helped him, pushing him, all the way up to the street. He asked if I was from like if I ever been to San Francisco, and I was like, no, like, I'm too young. I haven't been there. And he was like, I think he was explaining what happened. I think he said like I couldn't really hear him too well. I had my headphones in and I had like my music playing, and I couldn't really hear him well. But I think he said something. I think he was trying to explain like what happened to his leg, like something happened in San Francisco, and then like his leg got messed up or something. Um, but we were just like, I was like trying to interact with him as best as I can, but also get to the train because I didn't want to be late for my train. So I got him to where I needed to get him to. And, I shook his hand. I said, God bless. We both God blessed each other. And, we walked off, and he was very grateful and thankful and appreciative of me helping him out. And, you know, I felt really like, I felt very emotional. And, I was like, oh my God, like that was like one of the most beautiful interactions I've had like in a long time. Because today, like I didn't get a lot of sleep. I felt tired. I wasn't really in my best state, and that interaction made me feel human. It made me feel alive. It gave me this surreal like feeling that like you know this is like it's so hard to explain it because like I'm still trying to process it. Like, I love helping people. That's something that, anybody that knows me personally or, even if you just see it through the content or whatever, like I love helping people. And that is something I want to make a career out of and something I want to do and something I'm going to continue to do for literally the rest of my life with making content to help people or, doing other stuff that I have planned. I want to help people as best as I possibly can in every aspect. And every aspect of this realm, I want to help people as best as I possibly can. And for me to have an interaction like that and to help this person, even though it may seem a little bit, was beyond beautiful because people were walking past this man and they probably thought he was just one of these crazy, you know, crazy people that you see or whatever the case may be. Like if you're from New York, there's a lot of homeless people here and a lot of them are crazy, and there were probably people just walking by and they didn't know any better. But you know it just like I like, we have to always at least try. And I get it. Maybe appearance could be, you know, very, what's the right way to put this? Very uncomfortable. But still, just because the cover of the book may look like shit doesn't mean the person is shit. And I just, I just, I don't know. I was like, I felt like, cause like it was such a surreal like emotions I was feeling because I felt so sad and I felt so happy, but then I felt like frustrated because I was like, why was nobody like gonna help this man? All he wanted was a little bit of help to go up a hill. He wasn't able to do that on his own. All he needed was a little bit of leverage, and then boom, he was good. And people were just walking past him like if it was nothing, like if he was nothing, like if he was just there. And if you're from the city, if you're from New York, it gets hectic. It's always like kind of just gotta walk forward, get to where you need to get to as quick as possible. No interact, busy and all this other shit. But like, still, there's always moments to help. Including that person needed so much help, and the fact that so many people were just walking past him, like if it was just nothing, it's saddening. Like it's so sad. It was like I was very appalled that you know that like you just nobody was able to help him. And who knows, maybe he just got there. I don't know. I kind of had like tunnel vision, and I usually don't, but today I was just not really in it. And like I just kind of had tunnel vision until I saw him last minute, and like I was like, "Oh my god." So maybe he just got there and maybe people weren't able to help him. Or maybe he was there for like 5 or 10 minutes or longer wanting somebody to help him. I don't know. But all I know is that there was people before me and he was asking to help him. And they walked past him like if he was nothing. And we should never treat each other like that. If we want our world to be better, not just for ourselves and for our family and for our friends and, you know, whoever else you hold dear to, but what about for your family, for your future, for the kids and the people that you're going to bring into your life? What about that? What about that? Like, is this the example that we're gonna continue to give off? Like, it has to change. This has to change. We can't just keep just walking past people that obviously need help. And I get it. Like I said, some people may appear uncomfortable, some people may appear crazy or whatever the case may be, but still, like, if you know it in your heart and you know it in your soul, and if you have that feeling that's indescribable and you can't really describe it to everybody else, but you can describe it to yourself, that you need to go out and help that person, go do it. Like, why? Like, just go do it, man. There's so many people. There's so many people that need help, and there's so many people that, you know, that are going to need your help and assistance, maybe in the smallest ways possible, or some of the biggest ways. But our world isn't going to get better from us just not helping each other and being divided. We have to be in unity. We have to be together. We have to just keep each other so close and tight and to be there for one another and not just walk past each other or just act like we're nothing. We aren't nothing. We have so much. We have so many purposes. We have so many beautiful and amazing attributes that each individual person has to their character. And the only way our world is going to get better is if we start helping each other. We come together. We put the ego aside. We put the judgment aside. And we help each other. Because I'm not going to act like I know, exactly the people that are out to get us. I mean, it's pretty common, the idea of who or what, but we don't know specifically who. And I can guarantee you that this world isn't here to help you. You know, these systems aren't here to help us. So we have to help each other. We have to change the world and to unify everybody, and to come together and to help each other, even in the smallest ways possible or the biggest ways possible. Because it could be as small as what I did, you know, and maybe it was very major and helpful towards that guy. But, you know, what do you have to lose to help somebody? And like, just for people to walk past them, it's sad. It is really sad. And, you know, I hope I see that guy again. I do, I hope. And, you know, I'm gonna make sure that I have a way better interaction, because I wasn't all the way there and I had my headphones in or whatever. But, you know, we have to keep helping each other. We have to come together at some point, because the world is only going to get worse and things are going to get a lot more weird. But in order for the world to be a better place, and for your future, for your kids, for yourself, and for the just future of the world in general, and for it to be peaceful and to be heaven on earth, we have to start coming together and helping each other and build communities and build societies and come together as one and drop all the ego and drop all the judgment and all the negativity and all the opinions. We have to come together, because there are common enemies out there that, you know, we have to put away the ego for. Anyways, that's kind of the video. You know, thank you for anybody that's listening, and I hope that maybe this video inspired you, or, you know, it made you feel at least positive, or gave you some insight or something. I just hope it did you something well. And, you know, this is going to be the video for today. And we got to come together. We got to come together, and we have to be together, and we have to fight together, and to help each other together. That's it. I love y'all. God bless. And I'll see y'all.